Good morning, everyone, and welcome into another edition of Mornings on Main Street. I am your guest host today, Zach Womble, just after the 7 o'clock hour here in the Mid-State, looking live at downtown on Broadway as the day gets ready to get started, Justin. And speaking of Justin, let's go ahead and bring you in. And,
Hey.
And our award-winning, or soon-to-be award-winning producer, Justin Kulik. I know that maybe you could be award nominated at the very least.
Right, exactly.
Hopefully soon be award winning. Maybe I think I might have threw Justin off a little bit.
Yeah, sorry.
Bringing him in a little bit too early. That's on me.
No, you're good, man. You're good. I'm sorry. I was a little spaced out, but hello. How's it going, everyone?
You know, it's going all well over here. You don't know this, but behind the scenes, I'm going to unveil the curtain a little bit, Justin.
Yeah, do it.
We're both just kind of like frantic this morning a little bit. I think both of us kind of hit a little bit of traffic this morning that wasn't anticipated.
Exactly.
And so we're just trying to get it. We're just trying to get it together.
Right.
So that's what we're doing.
Hey, we're just happy to be here. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Much like you out there, just trying to get it together early in the morning today on Thursday, August 11th. Like I said, just after the 7 o'clock hour, 7:03, got a big day ahead here on Mornings on Main Street. Not only are we going to do this day in history and this day in entertainment, as well as celebrity birthdays, but we've also got guest appearances today from Main Street Prep's editor, Russell Venozzi, as well as Titans insider, Terry McCormick. He's coming back today. Yesterday, we talked about the offense. Today, we're going to talk about the defense in training camp. So there's a lot to get into. So we want to make sure we're staying through this entire hour. Sorry, guys, no Magic Man today. Those are only on Wednesdays, but still going to be a lot of fun today, Justin.
Absolutely. And before that, we got to get to the weather, of course. Got to get these people weather prepared.
That's right.
The weather is brought to you by Roy Meat Service. It is locally the Nashville Meat Place. Let me pull up the website here if I can figure out how to do that. Here we go. 1 second. You got to go to there and try their quesadillas or fajitas. I'm sorry about that. Roy, he's a great person, great family-oriented place there. Me and Zach are going to get down there this week and try those SF Fernando's quesadillas and see what's going on there. As far as weather goes, today it's currently 78, kind of a hot morning. Humidity is a lot. Hold on, I can get the real one. 96% humidity today. That's a big thing. I hate humidity. Don't use that. It's ridiculous.
It's the worst. Justin, I don't know if it's coming through, but I'm still looking here live at downtown on Broadway as the traffic passes through. There we go.
There's Roy Meat Service. There's his red apron there.
There it is.
Thank you.
Justin, I'm so glad that we do this. I'm so glad we highlight Roy's because I think there's nothing better out there than going and supporting the local community, whether that be meats, whether that be fruits, vegetables, or whatever. So I'm really happy to promote Roy's Meat Services. Got a lot of good things going on over there. So if you haven't yet, like Justin said, get on over there. Check out the quesadillas. They've got plenty to choose from. Look at that meat right there. You're not going to find better source meat than at your local homegrown shop. So get on over to Roy's Meat Service and check it out. Right, Justin?
Absolutely. Well said, Zach. Well said.
Absolutely. So let's just go ahead and jump right into the show here. We're going to go this day in history. If you haven't noticed yet, this is, I think, my 4th time hosting the show. And every time I've done this day, I just like doing it because I think it's interesting.
I think it's great. I'd also like to point out that we're hijacking George Plaster's set.
Yeah, that's right. We are. I am in King George's seat today. So, take that, George.
Yeah. Come do something about it.
Yeah, exactly. Got the Vols behind me. Got the Vols memorabilia. So I really like that.
Wait, you went to Vandy?
Yeah, we're hiding. We're hiding. I can't say that. I can't say that, Justin. We're not doing that.
They've actually asked us not to make sure that people know that we didn't go there.
Yeah, exactly. So this day in history, Justin, we're going to do just a few, but there are 2 sports, 1 pop and 2 pop culture. I guess you could categorize the other 2. Are you ready for this day in history, Justin?
Absolutely. I'm a sporty pop guy. So cool.
Do you want to guess? Was yesterday too hard with that? Do you want me to just tell you? How do you want to do this?
Let's see. I don't know. I kind of liked the hint thing. If you could just, any hint that you think is fair.
Okay, I got you right here. Okay, this guy hit his 500th career home run against the Cleveland Indians playing for the New York Yankees in 1929. Do you know who that was, Justin?
Lou Gehrig.
Good guess. We're looking at Babe Ruth.
Oh,
the great
that was
Bambino.
Gosh, Sultan of SWAT.
Yeah, the great Bambi. That's exactly right.
You took it over here and you actually played with it?
Yeah. Oh, that's who you're talking about. This day in 1984, Justin, there was a track and field athlete that won his 4th gold medal at the Olympic Games in Los Angeles, California, joining fellow Americans Jesse Owens from 1936 and Alvin Kraisline, I'm sure I butchered that name, from 1900. Do you know the athlete that won his 4th gold medal at the Olympic Games in Los Angeles in 1984 on this date?
1984. Oh, man, I really don't know any Olympic runners, but
That's okay.
not Wilma Rudolph.
It wasn't Wilma Rudolph. It was not Wilma Rudolph. This was Carl Lewis.
Oh, Carl.
Carl.
See, Carl.
That's right. That's right. Sticking with sports, this Major League franchise began a labor strike following their August 11th game, and the dispute eventually led to the cancellation of the season, including the championship series. Do you know which sport, which Major League franchise sport this was in 1994 that had a labor
Baseball,
strike?
right?
That was.
Okay.
Yep, Major League Baseball.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to go with the A's.
No, you got it right. It was Major League Baseball.
Oh, I got it right.
Yeah, it was Major League Baseball.
I didn't have to get the, hey, let's go.
Yeah, no, the entire league after their August 11th
right.
game went into just a strike. I mean, I was only 4 years old, so I remember it like it was yesterday.
Right.
But
Exactly. Well, I wasn't wrong by saying the A's. They're in the league.
they are. That's right. They are.
2 for 2.
As someone who likes to root for Oakland, they're barely in the league. Let me just go ahead and tell you that right now.
Exactly. Yeah,
All right,
I know it.
Let's do 2 pop cultures.
All right.
This day in 1964, this band released their first feature film, A Hard Day's Night. It had hit its U.S. premiere in New York City, and it was released during the mania that was blank. It is now widely considered a classic. Do you know which band released their first movie and it premiered in New York City? 1964. Think about it.
Beatles.
That's exactly right, Justin. The Beatles. 2 in a row.
Hey, let's go.
2 in a row.
Can he be stopped? I don't think so.
All right, last one, Justin. This day in history, a little bit sad, a little bit somber. I hate to do it, but he was such a polarizing figure, and he was so well known. And it was a sad day, and it still is a sad day. But this gentleman passed away on this day in 2014. Do you know who that was, Justin?
What? So he's pop, right?
He was an actor. He was an actor, comedian.
Oh, Robin Williams.
That was Robin Williams. This day in 2014.
Oh, he was amazing in Mrs. Doubtfire. I mean, he was amazing in everything, but
he was great at what he does, and I think the world is a sadder place without him in it for sure.
Definitely. On Good Will Hunting, it's not your fault.
Exactly, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Listen, guys, we're gonna go ahead and take our first break, just 10 minutes into the show. But when we come back, we're gonna do This Day in Entertainment, and we're gonna get to our guest interviews after this. So stay through the break.
We landed on the moon, punk.
Oh yeah, it's National Moon Day.
Can you name the astronaut who first stepped foot on the moon?
The one that put the camera on. The one that set up the camera before Lance Armstrong.
The first astronaut to step on the moon, none other than jazz legend Louis Armstrong.
Lots of cheese.
You like it a cheese?
As the parents, the club, the state, it was an incredibly emotional time.
Nat, you're a combination of Ted Lasso and Vince Lombardi, my man.
Hopefully more Vince Lombardi, to be honest with you.
I think it's got some great potential in terms of long-term events here. And the folks at the Big Machine Music City Grand Prix do a great job in putting this event on.
Oh, National Hot Dog. Remember last year with the Daddy's Dogs, National Hot Dog Day? He brought out like 30 hot dogs.
Yes.
And we ate all of them and we got gassy. Remember? That
Absolutely. Yeah, there was one with cream cheese on it.
Oh, so good.
What's there not to love?
Well, you know what? 3% of the people don't like oxygen.
When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
WellSkin Dermatology and Aesthetics. We pride ourselves in providing access, innovation, and a patient experience second to none. Access to care and treatment when you need it. Innovation with medical-led cosmetics and various on-site technologies for full-service treatments with a customer experience that is calming, casual, and effective. Independently owned, providing medical, surgical, pediatric, and cosmetic dermatology and more. Visit wellskinmd.com to schedule your appointment today. WellSkin Dermatology and Aesthetics. Access to healthier skin.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
You can't see us yet, but we're over here dancing behind the scenes to these great tunes. Welcome back to Mornings on Main Street, just after 7:10 in the morning on this August 11th edition. I am your guest host today, Zach Womble. Excited to spend the next 45 minutes with you as you look live at downtown Nashville Broadway as we get ready to get this day started. Justin, it's a little cloudy out there, but you know what? Maybe the rain will hold off. I don't think it rained as much yesterday as maybe we thought it would, so maybe we'll get a little lucky today and get some sunshine out there. Yeah. So as I teased you before the break, we were going to come back and do this day in entertainment. Again, a lot of fun, Justin. We've got movies, we've got television shows, we've got songs. So
everything.
We got a little bit of everything. We're gonna
a little smorgasbord, if you will.
We just want to learn you something, Justin. To be honest with you, we just want to learn you something.
You know when you what's the most confusing like greeting that you get? You know, like let me put some context behind that. So like you ever walked up to somebody and instead of hey, how are you, they say what you know good?
Yep. What you know?
What do you say to that?
You know, when someone said, for the longest time, I had no idea what to say. When someone was like, what you know, Zach? I'm like, and now
what do you say?
And now I say nothing. I don't know anything. What do you know? You know, what do you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
For the longest time, I didn't know how to answer that. It was always like the older crowd.
Exactly.
That would
like
say,
Southern, like,
yeah, what you know?
What you know, Zach?
I don't know, man. I don't know anything.
What do you want me to say? I'll say whatever you want me to say.
That's exactly right. Hey, Justin, let's go ahead and dive right into this. So obviously today is August 11th. So this day in entertainment, but different years, much like this day in history. And we're going to start with, I'm going to give you some hints.
Okay, cool.
This show was released on Netflix in 2017. Now that library catalog is huge. Let me give you another hint.
Okay.
So it's a family drama. Okay. I believe there's been 4 seasons, and it ended on the 4th season with the main star being able to go research his favorite animals in Antarctica.
Okay.
Do you know what show
that
that
Antarctica
was?
One threw me off. I was going to say Ozark, but
close, but no.
Is it that drama though? Is it kind of like that?
It's a drama.
Like Ozark?
Well, no,
not as intense.
It's not really a drama. It's an eye-opening experience. It kind of gives you an insight into people on the spectrum.
Oh, is it Love on the Spectrum?
No, Atypical.
Oh, gotcha.
Did you ever watch that show?
I didn't, but I watched the Love on the Spectrum, which is I think similar. I'm not sure. Actually, I don't know what Atypical is, to be honest.
Atypical is about a boy who has autism, and it's just about his life and just how he navigates through it and kind of going through high school and then into college and just kind of that entire thing. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good show.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was seasons. You said there's 4?
Yeah. I think it's either 4 or 5. I think it's 4, but it ended this year and it ended the way that, it should end. There was no like cliff. It's not like a series like that where there's like cliffhangers and stuff like that. It's more just a kind of informational type of thing.
Gotcha.
But it was really good, and it was good enough to get 4 seasons, and I think everybody loved it.
Sweet. I'll check it. Hey, I'll give it the old checkout.
There you go. This day in 1991, this animated series hit Nickelodeon for children. Do you know
which year was it?
1991.
Hey Arnold.
Close. Rugrats.
Dang it. Who's your favorite Rugrat?
I mean, I guess Tommy.
Got to go with TP.
Yeah, Tommy, you got to go with Tommy. No, it's Angelica, actually.
Yeah.
Shout out to Angelica.
Yeah, she might have been like the secret favorite, but you can never tell anybody that.
That's right. That's right. We're gonna go to a film that was featured in released in 2006 with Channing Tatum as the main star, and it was a dancing movie.
Step Up.
Yep. Your favorite, Justin. Your favorite.
It would be just like. Oh wait, this is this way.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm gonna be a dancer though.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm already kind of there, but
yeah, I saw the moves behind the scenes, and I'm, listen, guys, you guys are missing out.
Zach just came in, and I was doing a puree.
Yeah, exactly.
A puree is probably like a food thing, right?
This artist first got her acknowledgement on the Disney Channel, but she has a father who was a musician as well in the 90s that had a hit
and a bad mullet.
Yep. And this song was released in 2009. Do you know which song was released in 2009 from Miley Cyrus?
The Climb?
Party in the USA.
Oh, what a classic that is. I mean, it's the anthem. It should take the place of the anthem.
That's right. Yeah. We'll replace it with this. I mean, who gets hype on the Star Spangled Banner? I mean, look,
exactly.
Really.
Does anybody have it on their iPod?
Yeah. Exactly. Is anyone playing that just on a random?
You pull it to work.
Yeah.
Blasting it.
All right. This show, I think, also premiered on Nickelodeon in 1991.
They got some hits.
It revolved around a boy, and I don't know any other hits to give you. So, yeah, this premiered on Nickelodeon in 1991, animated show.
Wait, 1991? About a boy.
Boy in his life. And he was, let me give you another hint. He turned into a superhero.
Ben 10? No. Danny Phantom? No, that's Disney. Or is it Danny Phantom?
Third time's a charm, Justin.
Okay, yeah. He turns into a superhero. Gosh, I'm going blank now.
So
Doug, nice.
Doug, sorry, I cut you off on the
You're
third
good.
guess.
I would have never got that.
Yeah. And then this movie was released in 2000 with now I'm drawing a blank on the actor's name. Who was the actor in John Wick?
Keanu Reeves.
Does act. Hardball, all the classics.
Great movie.
This movie he starred in, released in 2000. It's a sports film.
Oh my goodness. Is it Touchdown? That sport? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Any given Sunday? No.
The Replacements.
Oh.
The Replacements. Last one before we go to the break.
Have I got anything right?
Before we go, 0.
Okay.
You got 0 right.
Okay.
You did much better on This Day in History.
For sure.
But I think This Day in Entertainment actually might be tougher than This Day in History.
Thank you.
Today's. I think it just is. Maybe my hints aren't as good.
Captain America.
Yeah.
Right.
Last one.
Pulling this one out. Here we go.
This show premiered also on Nickelodeon, but it didn't premiere until 2001. And it's a little bit, you're probably not showing anyone under the age of 7, this show.
Okay. Little more PG-13 than PG, huh?
I would say so.
Okay.
I would say so.
That makes it interesting.
But I
animated?
watched it. It's animated.
SpongeBob.
Close. The Ren and Stimpy show.
Oh, yeah. Definitely no children.
Yeah, no children there. No children there, Justin. Hey, good job, though, right?
Thank you. I mean, the effort was there. I don't know if anybody could see that, but it was there. Put my heart out on this laptop.
Can I tell a dad joke before we go to our second break?
I would love for you to tell a dad joke. Let me take you full so everybody can get the effect.
Okay. What is the difference between a hippo and a Zippo?
What, Zach?
One is really heavy and the other is a little lighter.
Hey.
So we're going to go to our second break with that, but make sure you're staying through as we come back from our second break. But like I said, we got guests Russell Venozzi and Terry McCormick jumping into the show, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Stay through.
At Sumner Funeral and Cremation, our mission is to serve families as our own, celebrate the life of their loved one, and help begin the healing process.
My whole family, including my wife and my mom and siblings, were very happy with the treatment that we received. I would highly recommend Sumner Funeral and Cremation.
We offer funeral, burial, cremations, and pre-planning services.
Sumner Funeral and Cremation. Traditional, affordable, dignified. Sumner.
I was looking for a major where I didn't have to do math or science. And when I took, so my sophomore year, I just took a ton of different classes trying to figure out something I liked. And one of them was Journalism 101. And it was like, well, this is great. You get to ask people questions and find out about them and then write about it. What could be better? So that's how I got into it.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
Serving Williamson and surrounding counties, Bone and Joint Institute of Tennessee offers comprehensive orthopedic care with 16 subspecialized physicians. Our practice provides high-tech care with a hometown touch. We offer physician clinics, physical and occupational therapy, advanced imaging, and surgical services, including interventional procedures. Call us at 615-791-2630. We're Bone and Joint Institute of Tennessee. High-tech care with a hometown touch. Have you heard about the high levels of radon in Middle Tennessee? Radon gas is the second leading cause of lung cancer, second only to smoking, and has no color, no taste, and no smell. The only way to know if you have radon is to test for it. Duret Radon Mitigation offers testing for small and large-scale residential and commercial properties, plus mitigation services. Visit DuretRadonMitigation.com to request testing or get a free estimate for mitigation. That's DuretRadonMitigation.com.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time. I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
Started singing to you guys. The Bones are good. The Bones are good. I don't even know who sings that song, to be honest with you, but it's just a hit, and I'll sing it every single day. Welcome back to another edition of Mornings on Main Street, 7:25 on this Thursday, August 11th edition. I am your guest host today, Zach Womble, and you are looking live at downtown Nashville, right there on Broadway. As we get our day started, you can see some trucks and some cars starting to pile in, so it looks like everybody is moving along just nicely. We were talking during the break, and we were saying how we wanted to show you guys the pet of the week this week, right, Justin? Because
yes,
who doesn't love a good pet story, right? So
exactly.
Do we have that ready to fire up
we
right
do.
now? Okay, let's jump right into it. Who's our pet of the week, Justin?
Let's see.
All right, time for our pet of the week. We've come to see our good friends at Cheatham County Animal Control and meet Jackson. He's a year and a half. He's got some Great Pyrenees in him, but he's a lot of Baskin Robbins, a lot of different flavors in him. 90 pounds. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Who's a big boy? Yeah, Jackson. He's a big boy, about a year and a half old. All right, here's where I get on my soapbox. I get really mad. Jackson and his sister were living the good life. Then their owners decided to move to a new house, and guess who wasn't invited? Yeah, Jackson and his sister. Don't get me started. I'll try to get through this segment without cussing. So Jackson's just looking for a good home. I know we got somebody out there who loves the big dogs. Hey, are you a good boy? Who's a good boy? Wag that tail. You are a sweet boy, Jackson, and we love you. Now, Jackson's sister got adopted, and so Jackson's still hanging out. He misses his sister a lot. But, oh, you're getting bored with me. Come on. I'm trying to help you out here, buddy. But Jackson's looking for that forever home. Now, he's probably as big as he's going to get. Again, a 1.5 years old. He's been at the shelter here for just a little time. Again, owners move, leave him behind. I just don't know how you do this. I would not move to that house. He wouldn't take my dog. So, Jackson, we're going to forget about that, aren't we? And I'm going to come over here and rub your snogging. So, Jackson's here. Cheatham County Animal Control. Again, come see him. Come check him out. And again, Jackson, you get up for me? Oh, he's lazy today. But are you a good boy? Who's a good boy? Yeah, he's a good boy. So if you like a bigger dog, I know most times we feature smaller dogs, medium-sized dogs. Very rarely feature these big guys. But here, we got Jackson Day. All right, so there's all the information on the bottom of the screen. Jackson, can you read the bottom of the screen there? It says Cheatham County Animal Control. Can you do that? Can you wag your tail for us? Jackson, look at you going. Who's a good boy today? Yeah, he's a good boy. Jackson is that. So come see him. Oh, he's making his way around. There he goes. Look at that. Look how pretty he is. He's marked so pretty. He just needs a second chance at a forever home. I know somebody out there can take him in and make Jackson part of their family. All right, Jackson. Again, there's information. He's friendly. He's loving. He's just a gentle giant. And he's ready. Hey, Jackson, let me see your pretty face. Oh, he's exploring over here, too. All right, there it is. Come see him. Make us happy. Let's clear the shelters. Let's find him a good home. And look at my man digging down the ground there. All right, guys, we'll see you soon. Again, thanks to the great staff here at Cheatham County Animal Control for helping out. Jackson, any final words? No. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. Bye, Jackson.
Joe is just a big goofball, man.
He is.
I swear he is. Yeah, that makes me mad too, though, Joe. I mean, how you gonna do that to your animals? I mean, why even get one in the first place if you're not gonna if you're not gonna keep it? I have a soft spot in my heart for animals.
Me too.
I got a golden retriever, or I guess she's still a puppy technically. She's like 9 months old, but love her to death. I couldn't imagine leaving her behind. So
right. No, I got a border collie named Annie Banani. She catches frisbees.
Oh, nice.
She's an athlete, bro. Like,
nice.
She gets on. We go to the park, and I know no one cares about this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. We go to the park, and there's other dogs playing there, and she doesn't play. She just straight down to business. She'll go to her spot that she wants to throw it or toss frisbee, and she'll be like, toss it.
Yep.
She's out there to work.
Yep. Peanut butter, nutter butter. My golden retriever. She's the same way, man. She loves to fetch stuff, whether it be, just anything. Like,
right.
Throw a sock down the hallway and she's going to get it. She's a.
I will go get it.
Yeah, she's a sock thief. But listen, I think it's time for Titan Insider Terry McCormick to join the show. Has he jumped in yet?
As soon as you said that.
Awesome. Listen. We talked about we talked about the offense yesterday with Terry McCormick, and he dropped some heat. He dropped some knowledge. So we wanted to bring him back today to talk about the defense. Terry, thank you so much for doing this morning. How are you doing today, first off?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing very good, Terry. Had to get up a little early this morning, but you know what? We made it in, right?
Absolutely.
Hey, listen, like I said, you dropped some heat. You dropped some knowledge on the offense yesterday. I wanted to bring you back in for the defense today. There's not a lot of questions around the defense, Terry. So maybe it's a boring subject. It's a boring talking point. But I think it's important just to give our listeners and our readers and our watchers kind of some insight of just how camp's been going for that side of the football and how they've helped prepare the offense. So what have you seen from the likes of Jeffrey Simmons or Harold Landry or Kevin Byard or Christian Fulton or just whomever? What have you seen from the defensive side of the ball that lends you to believe we should have optimistic hopes for the 2022 season?
Well, I think the defense took really great strides last year. They went from being very suspect at the outset of the year, coming off a bad year in 2020. And by the end of the year, you saw in the playoff game against Cincinnati, that defense was dominant. And had the offense been able to hold up its part of the bargain, I think, this Titans team would have easily been able to advance in the playoffs. I think when you look at a guy like Jeffrey Simmons and he's a guy that you can build this entire defense around. He's a guy that is just entering the prime of his career. He's a game wrecker on that defensive line. He's a guy that opposing offenses and offensive line coaches have to account for every single snap that he's on the field. And then you look on the back end, you talk about Kevin Byard, an all-pro, a guy who certainly coming out of MTSU has met and exceeded probably most of the expectations that most of the prognosticators had for him. He's a guy who just has a tremendous work ethic and is a tremendous leader. And not only that, a talented player on the field. And then I think the defense has a chance to be even better this year in terms of pass rush because it's going to have Bud Dupree for the entire year as opposed to him coming off an injury and being in and out of the lineup like he was last year when he joined the Titans. So you pair him with Harold Landry, that should make that edge pass rush even better than it was a year ago. I think the one question mark that people have about the secondary is basically who's going to start at one of the cornerback positions opposite of Christian Fulton. Will it be Caleb Farley, who's coming off an ACL? Will it be Roger McCreary, the rookie who's really impressed in camp, gotten his hands on a lot of footballs? I think that's going to be interesting to watch throughout camp and throughout preseason, starting tonight against the Ravens. I think people want to see Farley do well, but I think they're also interested in McCreary. I think there's a situation and a scenario where both of them could get a lot of play time because McCreary can slide inside and be the nickel back, especially since Elijah Molden, who manned that position last year, has missed a lot of time with an injury that he suffered early in camp and hasn't been available.
Yeah, there's a lot of good pieces on that defense, like you mentioned. I think like you said, you build behind Jeffrey Simmons and everything that he does. There's so many different talking points. One that you brought up I thought was very interesting. I would like you to elaborate on it more if you could. Just the impact that Bud Dupree brings to this defense, especially for a guy like Harold Landry. How does he free him up? What does Bud do that allows Harold to kind of shine and succeed?
Well, it creates balance on both sides of the line, both coming off the edge. Last year Bud Dupree wasn't completely healthy, wasn't 100% coming off that ACL. He missed some time early in the year because he said he came back too quickly from it. So teams could focus more on Harold Landry and the side that he was on. Now with a healthy Bud Dupree, teams are going to have to account for both of them. So you probably can double team one of them, but you're probably not going to be able to double team both of them. And I think that's the real benefit that a healthy Bud Dupree brings to this pass rush.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very excited to see just the improvements that defense makes because, like you said, it was really great last year. And the thought of them being better this year is kind of mind-boggling because I thought they were incredible last year. Terry, you wrote a really good piece on Kevin Byard when he had his jersey retired at MTSU. Can you, as great as he is on the field, it seems like he's even better off the field. Can you just speak to the level of ambassadorship that he's brought to the Titans and maybe a level of leadership that he's brought to that defense and just kind of maybe also the community as well?
Yeah. I mean, Kevin Byard is top notch. He's a guy that does everything the right way. He's a good family man. He's a guy who works hard in the community and does charitable things. And he's a heck of a player on the field and in the locker room. I think when you talk about the team leaders that are on this squad, Kevin Byard's one of the first names that you mentioned. And that's just, the work ethic, the character that he has combined with the talent that he has. I think, this is a guy who, certainly has been doing it for a long time, not only with the Titans, but prior to that, right down the road in Murfreesboro at MTSU. And they held the ceremony to retire his jersey, or they made the announcement of it at the Titans camp the other day while Kevin was there. They're going to, in September, retire his number 20 that he wore for the Blue Raiders. And so he's a guy who really, when you look at an athlete being a role model, Kevin Byard qualifies.
Certainly. I've got a daughter of my own and, she's only 3, but if she was 10, 11, yeah, I'm telling her, if you need a role model, look at Kevin Byard because I don't think there's any better. You mentioned that, well, obviously everybody knows this, but you mentioned the Titans play tonight against in the preseason for their first game of the preseason. What is something that maybe us not as experienced as say you or an untrained eye, what should we be looking for as fans? What maybe should we focus on tonight for that first preseason game?
Well, I think you want to see the young players, the rookies, some of these guys that you've been hearing about in camp, whether it's Traylon Burks or Kyle Phillips at the receiver position, Chig Okonkwo at tight end, Roger McCreary, who I mentioned before, another guy who's not a rookie, Racy McMath, another receiver who's had a solid camp. You want to see some of what they're doing on the practice field translate into game situations. That's one thing you want to watch for. Another thing you want to watch for, I think, you want to see Malik Willis. You know that he's not going to be the guy during the regular season because Ryan Tannehill's the starting quarterback, but you kind of want to get a glimpse of the future to see, 2-3 years down the road, what can this guy potentially be? Is he a potential starting quarterback? Is he a potential franchise quarterback? And I think, we get our first look at him tonight to see just where he stands in terms of his development.
How much do you think Malik plays tonight? Because I'm not sure Tannehill plays at all, like you said yesterday. So I'm assuming Logan Woodside's going to start. How much do you think they're going to split those reps between those two guys?
I think Malik Willis will play probably about half the game. I would look for him to play a lot in the second half. I think Logan Woodside will get the first half, and then at some point early in the third quarter, maybe even to start the third quarter, I think they'll turn it over to the rookie and see what they have.
Do you think we get to see Ryan Tannehill in the second preseason game? Do you think they save him for the third? Do you think we see him at all this preseason? How do you think they're going to manage number 17?
That's a good question. I'm not real sure exactly what route they're going to take. If he plays, I think it would be probably just a series or two just to kind of get his feet wet. Remember, they've got these joint practices coming up, and that's really where a lot of these veterans get their work is in these joint practices that they've got coming up with Tampa Bay and with Arizona over the next 2 weeks. That's where you can really kind of control the environment, control what's going on the field, but yet see how these guys work, how they're doing their job, and what the things that they're doing well, the things that they need to improve on. I think for veteran guys, I think that's a lot better work than just playing 2 series in a preseason game.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I get that. And I think, like you said, you get a little bit more from those. Staying on Ryan Tannehill, you mentioned Chiga Kongwo as a tight end. We got Austin Hooper as well. I really feel like, Terry, correct me if I'm wrong here, if you agree with this, that we may see 2019 Ryan Tannehill in 2022 because we know how much he loves his tight ends. And no disrespect to the crew that we had last year here in Nashville, but I do feel like the Titans made a step forward in their progress this year in that position group. Do you feel like maybe we could see a 2019 version of Tannehill this year, knowing that he's got those safety options?
I think it's possible that he plays closer to that level, and here's why: just because of what you mentioned, the tight end position. Last year, the Titans' primary system that they ran, the primary format that they ran was 11 personnel, which is 3 wide receivers on the field, 1 tight end, 1 running back. Tannehill had his best years in 2019 and 2020 when they ran a 12 personnel, which is 2 tight ends, 2 receivers, and 1 running back on the field. So with that 2 tight end set, he was very comfortable because that allowed the play action passing game to work, because it made for, well, we don't know what they're going to do with Jonnu Smith. He might stay in and block for Derrick Henry. He might slip out in the pass route and catch a pass. Austin Hooper, Chiga Kongwo bring that same type of versatility at the tight end position, which allows them to run that 2 tight end set much more efficiently. Last year, when you look at the way the tight end room was set up, if Michael Pruitt and Jeff Swain were on the field, chances are it was going to be a running play. If it was a pass play, it was going to be a short pass, most likely. If Anthony Ferkser came onto the field, it kind of tipped the defense that, hey, a pass is coming, because he's a pass catching tight end more so than he's a blocking tight end. So I think that some of that predictability that was there last year and cost them when they were in that 2 tight end, 12 personnel is gone now because of the versatility that Hooper and Okonkwo potentially bring to this offense.
Certainly. Terry, one more question for you before I let you go. Deontay Foreman was a fan favorite last year. I'm sure you knew this. He obviously got the bag in the offseason, goes to Carolina, and rightfully so. I mean, he played well. But it was a lot. There's a lot of hurt feelings for Titans fans losing him because of what he brought to this football team. How much do you think fans should hope for Hassan Haskins filling that role of Deontay Foreman? And do you think he could fill that role where he comes in and all of a sudden it's like, hey, we've got 2 really good running backs here in Nashville?
Yeah, I think Hassan Haskins is a guy that certainly can spell Derrick Henry, and I think they're looking for him to contribute in a lot of ways on special teams and, getting a series here or there. The situation last year was just unique because of all the injuries and then losing Derrick Henry. Foreman came in along with Dontrell Hilliard and did a solid job filling in for Derrick Henry. Now that Henry's back, it's his ride. It's going to be his team. He's the guy that the offense runs through because he makes the play action work. And obviously he's dynamic as a running back, a big bruising back with also breakaway speed. So Hassan Haskins is kind of a downhill runner. He's not going to dazzle you like Derrick Henry, but he's a guy that can come in, make some solid runs, keep a drive going, move the chains, and also do some things on special teams. So I think Hassan Haskins is going to have a valuable role on this team, being Derrick Henry's understudy.
Offense, defense, you name it. Terry McCormick dropping heat this morning on Mornings on Main Street. Thank you so much, Terry, for jumping in these last 2 days to talk about the Titans. We really appreciate it, and I hope you have a great day today.
Thanks, Zach. See you.
You bet. That was Titan insider Terry McCormick. None better here in the Nashville market, in my opinion. He just drops heat. He drops knowledge. And if you haven't been over to his site, I implore you to check it out because it's second to none. That's TitanInsider.com, where you can see the latest, whether it be about Ryan Tannehill, Malik Willis, the defense, Kevin Byard, you name it. He's got it there over in Titan Insider. But we're going to jump into our final break. But when we come back, we're going to welcome in Main Street Preps editor Russell Venozzi to talk about the high school football season that kicks off next week.
At WellSkin Dermatology and Aesthetics, we pride ourselves in providing access, innovation, and a patient experience second to none. Access to care and treatment when you need it. Innovation with medical-led cosmetics and various on-site technologies for full-service treatments with a customer experience that is calming, casual, and effective. Independently owned, providing medical, surgical, pediatric, and cosmetic dermatology and more. Visit WellSkinMD.com to schedule your appointment today. WellSkin Dermatology and Aesthetics. Access to healthier.
At Sumner Funeral and Cremation, our mission is to serve families as our own, celebrate the life of their loved one, and help begin the healing process.
My whole family, including my wife and my mom and siblings, were very happy with the treatment that we received. I would highly recommend Sumner Funeral and Cremation.
We offer funeral, burial, cremations, and pre-planning services.
Sumner Funeral and Cremation. Traditional, affordable, dignified. SumnerFuneral.com.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
Serving Williamson and surrounding counties, Bone and Joint Institute of Tennessee offers comprehensive orthopedic care with 16 subspecialized physicians. Our practice provides high-tech care with a hometown touch. We offer physician clinics, physical and occupational therapy, advanced imaging, and surgical services, including interventional procedures. Call us at 615-791-2630. We're Bone and Joint Institute of Tennessee. High-tech care with a hometown touch.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you.
Only 14 minutes left in the hour. I cannot believe it. These 45 minutes have flown by. Welcome back to this Thursday, August 11th edition of Mornings on Main Street, where you are looking live at Broadway, downtown Nashville, just above the Lucky Saloon and Dirk's Bentley's Bar, as well as we get this day started. It's been a lot of fun this week, Justin, these past 2 days with you. I've really enjoyed myself. I hope you've enjoyed these two shows as well.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, it's been a great time. I need to brush up on my knowledge of entertainment and sports in the past, but that's okay.
Yeah,
I needed this wake-up call.
Yeah, that's on me. Just to kind of unveil the curtain a little bit. I don't really give Justin any hits outside of what you hear.
Right.
So he's really kind of in the dark on that. So don't blame him too much.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. Is Russell in the chat?
He
awesome.
is, for sure.
So I teased you guys before the break that we were going to bring in Main Street Preps editor Russell Venozzi, and that's what we're going to do right now as he joins the show. Russell, good morning, man. How are you doing?
Hey, Zach. Good morning. It's good to see
morning.
you there. You got a nice setup today.
Yeah, I took King George's spot, so hopefully I can claim it as my own. We really appreciate you jumping in this morning, man. It's early for us sports guys, right? So just thanks, man, for doing this. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, so we're going to jump right into our first question, Russell, which is, I know we're getting ready to release our Main Street Preps Top 25, and you can head on over to mainstreetpreps.com to check that out. But we've got some really good football teams, and I don't want to maybe we give it away, maybe we don't. But, Russell, what are your top three teams, regardless of classification, heading into week one?
Yeah, well, the list just went up about 45 minutes ago, so I'm fine giving it away, and everybody can head over to mainstreetpreps.com to see it. But the top three teams that we've got in our preseason poll entering week one are really no surprise. But number one, we've got Lipscomb Academy, of course, the defending Division II AA state champion, with Trent Dilfer there as the head coach, building a powerhouse over there in the Green Hills area. And then right behind them, a close 1A, I would say, at number two is Oakland, of course, coming off their second Class 6A state championship in a row, a 15-0 season. They lost quite a bit from that team, but it's still Oakland, still a lot of talent there, and I still believe that they're going to be one of the best teams around. And then right behind them at number three is Montgomery Bell Academy, of course, the runner-up in the highest classification of Division II last year. They returned quite a bit, including Marcel Reed, their senior quarterback, who's about to enter his fourth year as the starter. So that's a real luxury to have, and I expect NBA to have a good season.
Yeah, really good stuff. And we're going to get into Marcel Reed here in a little bit. But first off, a lot of good games to choose from, right? In week one, I mean, there's just so many good games. Bailed out a little bit with a couple Thursday night games. But if you had to pick two or three can't miss week one games, where are you going, or where are you sending our listeners to?
Yeah, that week one schedule is completely stacked there. Like you meant, there's a lot of interesting matchups, especially a lot of, teams that don't necessarily play as much because it's the non-region schedule, but for the most part. But that Thursday night game, if you're I guess itching to go to one right away, right here in Nashville, you've got Cane Ridge, Pearl Cone, two premier Metro teams, and it should be both good teams this year. So that should be a fun one. And then Friday night, there's a whole bunch of choices. So I would say, don't drive very far, because I'm sure there's a pretty good game going on wherever you live. But two that caught my eye were Independence at CPA and then MBA at Ravenwood. And both of these were pretty lopsided towards the private schools last year. CPA and MBA ran away with those games. But, those are four teams that are all in the top 25 in that preseason top 25 that we just released. And I would expect potentially better scores there this year, just some of the graduation losses and stuff that MBA and CPA had. But kind of just looking down the line, those were a couple that stood out to me right off the bat, but you really can't go wrong. I mean, it's been a year since this has all happened, so I'm sure everybody's just happy to get out and see their local teams.
Absolutely. It sounds like, you could put a dartboard up and just kind of put a mixture of games, just close your eyes and throw, and you find a good one. Moving on, but one of the best quarterbacks in not only the state, but the entire country, Russell, is still available for the getting. And, of course, I'm talking about Ravenwood quarterback Chris Parson. Now, Parson made some headlines of recent decommitting to FSU. What do you know what went down there, or have kind of the latest in his recruitment?
Yeah, I guess I can't speak to what went on behind the scenes, because Chris is really, he said all the right things in his public comments, including to Tyler Palmentier a few weeks ago. He wrote a story kind of updating everybody on his recruitment, and, said that, hey, I'm really focused on enjoying my last year of high school football, and whenever the decision happens, it happens. But he's since announced that he's going to make that decision tomorrow at Ravenwood. Of course, it's going to be live streamed. on his Twitter account. But he's going to choose between Mississippi State, Virginia Tech, SMU, and TCU. So about a month ago is when he decommitted, and now he's ready to make that decision. And Florida State was his dream schools, what he described it as, but it sounded like that things maybe there, even if the school was his dream school, the situation there with the quarterbacks maybe wasn't as ideal as it was when he committed, because they went and offered a couple of other top quarterbacks around late May of this year. And so even the most self-assured kid, I think reading between the lines, even the most self-assured recruit is probably looking at that, especially at the quarterback position, because there's only one spot there to start and to play. Is probably looking at it and seeing, I might want to find somewhere that's a little more committed to me, a little more willing to make some guarantees. Not necessarily that he'll be the starter right away or anything, but that there's going to be a gap there in between other starters, and kind of allowing him to earn that job and to take it. Because he's certainly, he's like you said, he's one of the top quarterbacks in the country, and I think he's going to be a starter wherever he ends up, and I think he's going to be a good one at that. So it's really just a matter of him finding the right spot, and it sounds like he's got that in mind. He's going to announce that tomorrow.
Yeah, as someone who is a fan of a certain SEC program that resides in the East, if he goes to the West, I'd like to imagine he'd be incredible in that air raid offense down in Mississippi State with Mike Leach, who does such great things with quarterbacks. But speaking of quarterbacks, we've got some good ones here in the Mid-State. We've got Marcel Reed that you mentioned here at NBA. You've got Kenny Minchie at Pope Prep, who's committed to Pitt. Chris Parson that we were just talking about, Hank Brown at Lipscomb Academy, who's committed to Liberty. Of those top 4 quarterbacks in the state of Tennessee, or in the Mid-State, I should say, which do you think kind of has the best chance to lead their team to a state title?
Yeah, and there's probably a couple of the quarterbacks that probably have an argument to be on that list. But of that group that you mentioned, I think it's got to be Marcel Reed and NBA. They were right on the doorstep last year, like I said, making that state championship game, falling to Macaulay. And that's not a knock against the chances for Ravenwood and Chris Parson and Kenny Minchie and Pope Prep, and of course Lipscomb and Hank Brown. But I really like Marcel Reed to get back to that game and potentially win it, because he's been there twice. He's been there twice. He went there as a freshman, as a junior, and so you just kind of think as a senior he's ready to put it all together. But and of course Lipscomb too. That one's almost too obvious. But
yeah,
I am interested to see how Hank Brown does. They've got a lot of turnover there that they're dealing with, but like I said, Trent Dilfer, there's just so much talent over there on his team that they might still run away with that Division II AA title. So I guess Marcel Reed and Hank Brown are probably the best that have a chance of still being around when early December rolls around. We've got the Blue Cross Bowls in Chattanooga, but of course that's really, really far from now. So early, that's my take.
Yeah, don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. Russell, before we let you go, as much as we love football here at Main Street Preps, we want to give a little love to the fall sports, whether that be cross country, golf, girls soccer, or volleyball. So what are maybe a couple big storylines of any of those sports that I just listed? You don't have to do all of them, but maybe one or two, the big headlines going into the first week of the season.
Sure, yeah. And like you said, we still cover all those sports. So we're actually unveiling players to watch in all those sports, and we will certainly have coverage early next week when they all get rolling on Monday and Tuesday. I think golf's actually been going for a couple of weeks. It starts so early in July. It's got to be just unbelievably hot for those kids out there. But yeah, I guess in volleyball, I'm interested to see, is Brentwood going to get back to it? They had that stretch of 8 championships in a row under Barbara Campbell. And then of course she retired with some health issues and things like that. And they didn't get back to the state championship last year, so that streak was broken up. They still have quite a bit of talent there, but that's a team that has just been such a powerhouse in volleyball, and I'd be interested to see if they can get back. Of course, Nolensville, they've got to deal with them now. That's a team that's won a couple championships in a row now, I believe. And then girls soccer, there's so much, especially in that Williamson County area. Again, I hate to keep harping on it, but there's so much talent there, and you've got Ravenwood, Nolensville. All kinds of title contenders. So yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. Those are, we really don't know a ton about football. We might seem like we do, but until they strap up the pads on week 1, we really don't know. We know even less about these other fall sports. So I'm looking forward to kind of getting a bearing on what's going on, and that'll take a couple weeks. But in a couple weeks, I could get back to you and have a lot better answer there for some of these other secondary sports.
Sure, kind of putting you between a rock and a hard place, Russell. But regardless, we really appreciate you jumping on with this morning, dropping heat, dropping knowledge. Everyone head on over to mainstreetpreps.com to check out the latest from Russell and the entire staff. I'm a bit biased. Get over it. It is what it is. But I really think we have the best high school sports coverage in all of Middle Tennessee. From Maury County to Robertson, Dixon to Wilson, and everywhere in between. You won't find a better comprehensive coverage than Main Street Preps. Russell, have a great day.
I totally agree. Thanks, Zach.
You bet. That was Main Street Preps editor Russell Venozzi joining us, dropping, like I said, heat, knowledge, Justin. That's just what he does.
Yeah, he does, man. He's super on point all the time.
Absolutely. Sure. Got Russ. I mean, I almost called you Russell. Justin, we've only got a couple minutes left on this Thursday edition. So let's do some rapid fire celebrity birthdays. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. This guy is an actor. He's been in several films, including Marvel's.
Okay.
I think I mentioned him yesterday. His name is Chris Hemsworth. Do you know how old he is today?
He's 34 today.
He is actually 38, Justin.
Oh.
But I do love the conviction that you just displayed there.
Got to own it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. What are you going to do when the Hulk comes for you, Justin? Because today is Hulk Hogan's birthday, Hulkamania. Do you know how old the Hulk is?
I'll tell you how old he is, brother. He's 59. And that's right. And that's what we do.
Well, he's actually 68, Justin. So 9.
He's old.
Yeah, he's getting up there.
Did you watch wrestling as a kid?
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was the day I found out it wasn't real, I was out.
Oh, yeah. I can't tell you why, but my mom made me stop watching it when I was in 3rd grade, which was like
I remember the day.
Like 1998, I think, 1999, something like that.
Gotcha.
Kind of aged myself a little bit. But yeah, I had to stop. My mom made me stop it for.
Who was your favorite? Do you remember?
Stone Cold Steve Austin. Are you serious?
Oh my
Come
gosh,
on now.
yes.
He's the best. He was the best. He was the best.
He was, man. He was.
So
I liked Kane.
Yeah. I really also liked Rey Mysterio.
Oh yeah, 619.
Yeah, that's right. All right,
Coolest
Justin,
one
let's
ever.
go down the list here.
Right.
We got Joe Rogan, podcaster extraordinaire, Fear Factor host.
Oh yeah, Fear Factor, 55.
54.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Act like you've been there before.
Brother Nature.
Brother Nature is 29.
23. Yeah, I was really surprised at that too.
Camila.
When I saw that, I was like, 23. Wow.
Yeah, it's very young.
Savannah Chrisley. Do you know who Savannah Chrisley is?
I don't.
Off of Chrisley Knows Best, the daughter? No? No?
But I know her age though, and
You're
it's
not
31.
No, she's 24. Yeah. 24. Basketball star for the Australian national team, Patty Mills.
Patty Mills is 41.
33.
Why did I say 41?
I don't know.
It's a very odd age to say.
Last two, real quick. The actress from Breaking Bad who plays Skylar, Anna Gunn.
Oh, she's 46.
She's actually 53.
Wow, these people are they're actors, so I got to add a couple more years.
That's right. Last one. Probably not the most. Well, yeah, most famous for getting shot over. Michael Jordan shot over Craig Elo.
Oh,
do you know how old he is today?
Craig
Elo.
Probably 53.
He's actually 60. And that's going to do it for our celebrity birthdays as we close out the hour here on this Thursday, August 11th edition. I really, really appreciate you tuning in these past couple days. It's been so much fun. And if they decide to bring me back, that will be cool too. So for Zach Womble, he's Justin Kulik, and we will catch you later.
Peace.